I'm at the 2008 Film Festival with Jared Ingram, and he's got a film at the festival this year, and he's going to tell us all about it.
My film's called Looking Up Dresses. It's a short film. It's not a porn, like you might think. It's a little comedy, a little 12-minute film. Director of photography is Bill Butler, an amazing cinematographer, a legend around these parts. He shot Jaws and One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and some pretty amazing movies. We got some amazing performances by Sam Huntington, who played Jimmy Olsen in Superman Returns, and a newcomer, Jalen Johnson, who's got a tremendous performance in this movie. So we're really excited to screen next week. We screen on Wednesday at 4 p.m. at Marjorie Luke Theater, and as well as Friday at 7 p.m. at Marjorie Luke Theater.
Well, tell me, what's the plot? What happens in this movie about dresses and looking up them?
Not a lot of that actually happens, but it's a movie about a guy who gets broken up with during church, so that he won't make a big scene out of it. And he gets broken up with because he's too nice. He's a churchgoer, so he's kind of a good guy, a nice guy, and maybe a little bit boring. So he's got till the end of the church service to prove to his girlfriend that he's actually a wild man. He's a bad boy.
Okay. And
so,
we have to see it to see what happens.
You got to see it to see whether or not he is able to get her back or not.
Well, that sounds like a fun movie. Anyway, thank you very much and good luck at the festival.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And looking up there.
Are we live?
We're live. Stand on the carpet.
This way I don't get zapped. Is this a grounding unit?
This is the Ed carpet. See, we're
the orange carpet.
Edhat. This is the Ed carpet.
Good stuff.
Colin Cunningham.
Colin Cunningham, yes.
I'm here at the 2008 Film Festival with Colin Cunningham, and he has a film at the festival, and he's going to tell you all about it.
I do. The film is called Centigrade. In a nutshell, it's about a guy who lives in an old busted-up, dilapidated Airstream trailer. There's no wheels on it. It's laying dead in the weeds. He does a bad thing, and he wakes up in the morning, and it's rolling down the highway.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's kind of like an homage to Spielberg's Duel. There's a Duel with Dennis Weaver. Great movie. You gotta check it out. Anyway, so it's a wonderful little short film, and we've actually been paired with Serbia's Academy submission called The Trap.
Okay.
So we're one of the few shorts that have actually been paired with a feature, which is a pretty cool thing.
But so the whole movie is about him rolling down the hill in his trailer?
Well, basically, the trailer's not supposed to move. There's no wheels on it. He does, like I said, he does something not so cool, and he wakes up in the morning, and he's being towed by a big black pickup truck, and the doors won't open, and the windows won't break, and it's getting hot. It's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. So we screened in competition in Montreal, and we won a couple of awards, and so far we're doing okay, and we're happy to be here in Santa Barbara.
So how'd you come up with the idea about doing a movie about a trailer being towed on down the highway?
I had a number of ideas, and I thought, what's just kind of a cool, tight idea. As a director, I didn't want a whole lot of dialogue, so there's maybe 2 lines of dialogue throughout the whole thing. Yeah. It's basically about a man trapped, trying to get out, trying to figure out what the hell's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds very interesting. When's it showing?
It is screening next Thursday at 10:30 in the evening, again along with The Trap, and then again on Saturday at 1:30 in the afternoon, I believe.
With The Trap again?
Yeah, with The Trap again.
Well, thank you. We'll check it out.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I am at the 2008 Film Festival with Paul Abramson, and he has a film at the festival which looks like this, picture of guns and girls, and he's going to tell you about his film.
The springboard for this movie, the title which is Regret is My Demon, is an Edgar Allan Poe short story called The House of Usher. And in this story, there's a narrator who visits Usher, and floating in the background, given this is a Poe story, it's kind of macabre, is Usher's sister Madeline. And at some point in time, Madeline dies, and for all extent and purposes, she's dead. So Usher and the narrative bury her. But because it's a Poe short story, the next day you hear screams and whatever else, and they clearly buried her before her time. And so the short story is really about regret. but it wasn't believable to me. So I wanted to create something that was more kind of psychologically compelling and trying to think of ideas that where regret kind of haunts us. And the idea that came to me was that kids often blame themselves for their parents' divorces. And I wanted to up the ante, and in this particular film, the 13-year-old girl unduly blames herself for her mother's heroin addiction and untimely death. Her mother's a nurse. And it's told through the cinematic technique used by Chris Marker in a 1962 film, La Jetée, which uses stills that move slightly and fold into each other. And so we have these very provocative still photographs and voiceover narration. And at the end of the film, after her mom has died, the school encourages her to get into therapy. And she first balks about it, hates the therapist, but ultimately has a compelling bond with the therapist. And at some point in time, she's talking about, you know, I wish I was a better daughter, if I've only did this, I've only did that, and helped my mom. And the film ends with the therapist telling her that, you know, you were a great daughter. Your problem is that regret is your demon.
So the message is anti-regret, or
well, it's a very powerful anti-drug movie.
Anti-drug.
And also, it's the power of regret in consuming our lives. And this particular girl, she just feels like if I only did something more, if I only took this additional step.
Yeah.
Her mother was obsessed with flowers. If I only gave her more flowers. And it's really the haunting of regret and the power that regret can have over our lives.
How long is this film? Is it
11 minutes.
All this is 11 minutes. Wow.
It's told through, and that's what one of these is. In this photograph that we showed you in the beginning of this, her mom's in the hospital. She's OD'd. And the 13-year-old goes home and she finds one of her mom's dresses. And in her mom's sewing box, she finds this gun.
Yeah.
And she's looking at, what's with this gun? This stupid gun. What my mother planned on doing with this stupid gun.
Yeah. Huh.
It's a dark movie.
Okay, I can imagine. Well, it sounds like you're at the edge of your seat the whole time.
Hopefully.
So when's your movie showing?
The first screening is today at 4 at Center Stage Theater, and then it screens again on Sunday night at 9:30 at Center Stage Theater.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a great film. Good luck at the festival.
Yeah, appreciate it.